All right, so what's going on? Welcome back to another Just Absolutely Boxing podcast. It's episode 114. I'm Combo Breaker 99.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Boxing P.
Yo, and it's fight week, man. It's this the big one, bro. Errol Spence Jr. versus Shawn Porter, man. This the fight we've been waiting for, man. One of the biggest going down in the welterweight division. How you feeling about this, P? I know you hype, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it, and you know what I'm saying. Like you said, it's a fight that it's a fight that we've been waiting for. Not the fight, but it is a fight we've been waiting to see. Unification, you know, in the welterweight division. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing two young guys in their prime, both of them champions. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and the best man wins.
Yeah, man, for real. Cause like this whole fight, it kind of like we knew it was possible, but it was still kind of it kind of came out of left field, you know, because everybody was talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford so much. So this whole fight, it just kind of surprised everybody. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it, it
definitely.
it was there to happen, but at the same time, whenever it was finally made, you know, Errol Spence, he stepped in the ring, you know, called Shawn Porter out after that Ugas fight, you know, and they made the fight. Everybody was kind of like, well, I ain't think about that before. Now that you look at it, the style matchup kind of seems better to me. What about you?
Style matchup is opposed to
Spence and Crawford.
yeah, definitely for a more entertaining fight. You know what I'm saying? These two styles will clash, and we'll see more action, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Cause when I first, you know, was kind of matching Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence up, I was like, yeah, this would kind of be a good technical fight, you know, kind of good chess match. But whenever I heard Shawn Porter and Errol Spence together, I was just like, man, this one got action written on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And something you brought up to me last time was the fact that with this kind of little rivalry these two got, as far as, you know, the talking, so, you know, it ain't really big talk, but like the competitive talk and what could happen in the ring, we don't know, man. This could be like a rematch or a little trilogy thing, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's like a wild card as far as, you know, Shawn Porter kind of getting in there with Spence, and then, you know, it could turn out to be something like you know, we just didn't see this whole thing coming together. So I mean, it could turn out to be something special, man.
What do you think? What do you think a fight like this means for somebody like Errol Spence? Like, you know, a lot of people, even, you know, we go back to saying like Roy Jones, he was saying that this is a fight that Errol Spence needs on his resume. Why do you think it's a fight that, you know, he really needs himself?
I mean, me personally, it's gonna be the first top guy that will be on his resume. You know what I'm saying? With a name like Shawn Porter, it's no really denying that Errol Spence is, you know, he's one of the top guys. You know, right now it's still up for debate for all these guys. You know, except for a guy, you know, it's a few guys. Shawn Porter, he does have a resume. Danny Garcia got a resume. Keith Thurman got a decent resume. But, you know, the jury is out, is still out on a lot of these newer guys, in my opinion. So a name like Shawn, it'll give him something to stand on and say, you know, definitely if he stops Shawn Porter, you know what I mean, something that's never been done, you know what I'm saying, that'll be something for him to stand on and give him leverage when it does start coming to negotiations and, you know, making fight deals, to be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because like I think a lot of the fighters, young fighters, and, you know, even casual fans today, this generation, they kind of feel like if somebody shows if they show the full package, they don't really have to prove the full package. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
how important
right.
how important is it for you to have an opponent that can help bring out and prove what the full package you have, man? Like how important is it for somebody like Errol Spence to say, I need a guy like Shawn Porter right now?
It's very important because, I mean, I like what you just said, you know, people say, oh, he got the full package, but we haven't seen the full package, and you know, people had to see it. You know what I mean? You can't just say a person can do all of this, you know, has all these different weapons or attributes or skills, but we only see them do one thing. You know what I mean? We need to see that. That way we can better gauge the fighter. You know, we fans too. We do stats, we do numbers too. We want to be able to say, man, I put the house on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? If we don't have some of this information, it's hard to, you know, do that with.
Yeah, I agree. Because the thing is, like, we can say a guy is the full package. You know, we can look at him all day, but if the person across from him is somebody we don't know anything about, or we just feel like, hey, this is another guy, then it does kind of lessen their package now, you know?
Right.
It'll definitely make you say, well, what is he proving if he's not fighting a guy on the other side with just as much skill? And something I saw in an interview recently with Kenny Porter, he was saying, like, you know, when you do have a young fighter, sometimes like the first 10 fights, you usually give them guys that they'll look good against. You know, you kind of give them certain guys that, like, if you can't hit hard, he said you might get them a guy that can't hit hard either, but has a soft chin, you know, to make him look good by knocking him out. But he said there comes a certain point when you got to start teaching your fighter that you ain't a knockout artist. You know, the fights are only going to get harder and harder, you know?
Right.
And I feel like, you know, there's going to be a point that you want your fighter to look good, but at a certain point, you know, just he's going to have to start remembering there are going to be other guys in there with just as much skill. So do you think there's a point when they kind of have to graduate from that, where like they kind of to break that point when there's no more just guys that we're going to keep knocking out, but we got to really start stepping up our game?
Yeah, I mean, of course, man. Of course. It's like in the face-off, you know, with Spence and Porter. I think that's what it was that I seen Shawn Porter say, you know, I remain humble by always knowing and having the insight that it's always somebody that can beat you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So going in with that mentality, that don't mean that you're saying this guy gonna beat me, that guy gonna beat me. You know, it's kind of just being realistic, I mean, that's life. It's always somebody bigger and badder than you, look better than you. Anything you can think of better than you is somebody out there that can do it or does it, you know, but that's just life. So, you know, going in with that indestructible or invincibility mindset, you guaranteed, you know what I'm saying? You're guaranteed to be let down. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of go back to what you're saying, like, we need to know this information to, you know, just further be able to, like, really call the fights, and just be like a fan. It's like, you know, we want to know. We want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like you were saying, like, it is kind of good it's good to be confident, but also be humble, because going back just to our regular world, like, if there's a job opening, you might feel like you're the most qualified person, but there's another person out there going for it too, you know, with just as much skill, and he might get it.
Who got a better personality?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're right. You are qualified, but, you know, this person who is not as qualified, he bonded with the interviewer better. You know, it's all kinds of stuff out there. You know what I mean?
Granted, you can't box his ass for the job. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know what I mean? That'd be different.
Yeah, that'd be different, right?
That'd be more realistic, you know what I'm saying? But, you know,
but definitely,
like you said,
there's a parallel there, because it's like you always have to go in through life too, you know, just saying, hey, man, like, the way I'm feeling confident, there's going to be somebody else feeling just the same way, you know?
And it's a way of protecting yourself, man, because those days are coming. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, I think the show I watched was like champions who couldn't handle a loss. And, you know, you seen some of them who, you know, they took it on the chin and were able to go on, but some of them just crumbled.
Yeah.
Crumbled. You know what I'm saying? Crumbled. Mentally weak. Could not deal with taking a loss.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying?
and that yeah, that kind of puts them in a different mind frame where they were so high up on themselves and they didn't think of those possibilities, you know. So
Right,
when you do that,
right.
sometimes the loss is going to be much harder and more crushing. So
Yeah, cause think about it, and I'm not gonna lie, it's nothing like seeing a guy gracious in defeat either. You know, when I look over and see a guy, he ain't get the nod and he's smiling, he's silly. That's good because you're still getting paid. You're not taking this to heart. You know, when you seeing guys crying, man, your heart got to go out for them, man. You know, I feel them, but it's like, man, you know, because there's no getting over that. You
yeah,
can't rewind it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's a tough pill to swallow on national TV. But when I can look and see a guy be gracious in defeat, it's a good feeling to me too, because that's life, man. You got to be gracious in defeat. We can't just cry all the time and stomp our feet and, you know, get mad. Sometimes you got to say, hey, it wasn't my day.
that's
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think that somebody like Shawn Porter and a guy like Errol Spence, I think that their experience, just the way they kind of approach themselves, and they approach each other and their humbleness. It's kind of like I think I definitely think they know they both have a big task at hand where they already know that hey, losing is possible. You know what I mean?
They have to go in there. That's what I'm saying. You had to go in there and like, you know, people say you have to visualize. You can't, you know, but you still gotta be a realist too, especially with boxing. The football game is different. We can take him out and put him in and save him for the fourth quarter. Ain't none of that with boxing. You feel me?
Right. It's all them.
It's all you know, and you gotta be realistic. I mean, hey, it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
50 chance. Those are the odds. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not even a 50-50 chance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people might say this fight is 60-40. You know, I've heard a few different things, but I'm just saying, I mean, going in anyway, it's a 50-50 chance because it's only two people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, because it's like one of these guys is going to win, right? But
and somebody got to,
somebody got to lose.
take the L.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody take the L. It's only me and him. It ain't like it's 3 or 4. No, it's me and him. So, you know, it's going to be that. And that, you know, just knowing that's how the sport play out. Even though we know we hate to see a guy take a loss that he didn't deserve. But if you lose, you need to be gracious in defeat too, you know. I mean, it's all about the best man that night. And the best man that night, you know, got it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He got it right. And, you know, this fight right here, man, it's just, I mean, it could go stupid with some crazy decision. I hope not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I hope not. Yeah, because, like, that's what I think of. Yeah. Like, I've been thinking that, too. Like, it's crazy we say the styles make fights, and, like, this style could be like a barn burner. It could mesh well where Spence has a easy time winning or Porter controlling it, but you never know. Like it could be an off night and it'll just be like go 12 rounds and the judges might mess things up. You know what I mean? You know how?
Easily, because in my opinion, I hardly see this going 12 rounds. I mean, Errol Spence said he wasn't trying to knock Mikey out, but you know, you trying to knock Shawn out if the opportunity presents itself. Or you ready to take some risks to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know where he stand on it. He said, if the knockout come, I'm going to take it. But, I mean, if the knockout came with Mikey, you should have took it. You know what I mean? How do you take that statement that I wasn't really going for the knockout? Do that really exist?
Going for the knockout?
Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, because one aspect of guy will say, I'm going for the knockout, but another guy say I'm not. I'm just waiting for it to come. If the knockout don't present itself, then a guy might not take it. But a guy that's going for the knockout, he's going to take risks and chances to get the knockout.
I guess for me, like when I hear fighters say I'm going for the knockout, I think it could mean they're going to set up for it, but not necessarily go chasing after you. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be in full pressure mode, putting pressure on you, because if he a seasoned fighter, then he definitely got to know that coming forward and swinging wild, you definitely ain't going to get the knockout. But I think when he's saying going for it, I think he's going to be looking for openings. And, you could do it on the back foot, you could do it by countering.
Come any what I'm saying. So I mean, if the knockout never came with Mikey, it might not never come with Shawn either. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just see this fight definitely going the distance.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, it was crazy. You know, the post I posted earlier, like all of the different fighters that had predictions, there was barely any stoppage predictions. You know, everybody from I think it was like Thomas Hearns, Manny, Robert Garcia, all of these guys, they had picked like a decision win for either Porter or Spence. You know, most picked Spence, but they all felt like he was going to get a decision.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you know, I know what Errol Spence saying. He's saying, yo, you come with that charge and I'm going to time it and I'm going to knock you out. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I get what he's saying, but, you know, is it going to play out like that?
Yeah. That's why, like, in the beginning, I was kind of hyping saying, oh, yeah, Spence TKO, Spence. But, you know, like, after that, I said that, too, with Thurman and Porter when they fought. But Thurman, he couldn't do it, so I'm not holding my hopes up for, you know, explosive knockout. I just want to see what comes. You know, I just want to see a good fight. You know?
And think about it. I mean, we talking about Shawn Porter, who has proven that he durable. We seen him drop hard. Keith Thurman rocked him, had him hurt.
Yeah.
We couldn't get him out there. You know what I'm saying? So we know that, you know, he is a durable guy. He can get hurt and hang in there.
Oh yeah, he got a hell of a chin. He got freakish stamina. The dude can move for 12 rounds. So
yeah,
you got to be able to keep up with him most of the time. You know, and I think that's why a lot of guys can't knock him out or can't really get him in dangerous water because he's always moving. You know, so
yeah. So I mean, like I say, man, it's a very interesting fight. Definitely because of the styles, like you said. You know, it wasn't the fight that we really expected, but you know, the closest is getting, and you know, everybody was excited about it, but it's really interesting when you look at the styles, you know, and the different possibilities that could play out because of the two styles. And
yeah, the styles, man. Yeah, like it could be, you know, just like a straight slugfest, or you know, it could just be a boxing match. You know, it depends on what style Shawn Porter brings to the table.
Yeah, you know, it could be rough and ugly. You know, smothering. It could be a lot of things. Could be a lot of holding. That I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Could be a lot of holding. I mean,
when Kell Brook fought Shawn Porter, that shit was like hold fest. You know,
that was extreme.
Yeah,
you feel me? Extreme. So I mean, it could be some of that. So that's what I'm saying. That's part of the excitement, that all the different possibilities that could happen, you know, for boxing fans anyway. I know some people that could care less, but to us, you know what I'm saying, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Possibilities and things that could happen, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, most of the boxing fans are happy that we seeing a fight that we should be seeing. Two young guys in their prime trying to unify. That's what we should be seeing. That we shouldn't have to beg for these fights. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to pull teeth for these fights.
Yeah, like it shouldn't be something where all the time you have to say, we can't do this. Somebody's over on this side, somebody on that side. It should just be like, make the fight, because we got to find one guy in the division. You know, we got to define one champion. And this is just one step closer, man. You know, hopefully a lot of these other divisions can follow, you know. But going back to what you were saying, you said something about Shawn Porter, you know, bringing up his we were just talking about his style. I was going to ask you, man, like his experience, like how important do you think his experience is in this ring? Because I have to give Shawn Porter the experience edge in this fight.
Absolutely.
I know Errol Spence, like they said, you know, Kenny said that he was a complete fighter in the amateurs, and you know he got the amateur pedigree, but you know Porter is a more experienced guy. Like, how important is that for him in this fight, man?
I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because we still, even if it was early, we still have to factor in the people that Shawn Porter been in there with.
Yeah.
Regardless of the time, what time period it was, the people that he shared the ring with, who went on to do like big things. I didn't know he beat Boo Boo in the amateurs. You know, I know he beat Usyk. He beat Boo Boo, Usyk, and it was like two other like big names or whatever. So.
And you know, Boo Boo beat Keith Thurman 4 times in there.
So that's what I'm saying. But So the people he's beaten with the experience that they have and the stars or you know, potential that they went on to have in the game. I mean, Usyk is a guy that they saying is the best out. You know what I mean? So we do have to factor that in. Errol Spence, you know, I know he has some pedigree, but what names are on there? You know, I mean, I'm sure he faced some guys because, you know, all these guys were mixing up back then, but you don't hear those names like that when you think about a guy like Errol Spence. And I do believe that, like I say, the fact that he shared the ring with these guys and these guys have went on to become something in the boxing world, it's going to make it, you have to look at that,
Yeah.
You know, it's not like these guys, you know, and they went on to be bums. You know, these guys, undefeated, world champions, you know what I'm saying? Look at Usyk. I mean, he in the history books. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, you know, you had to look at that, man. You had to look at that. He been in the ring with some top-notch guys and beats. Not only been in the ring, but beat some top-notch guys.
Definitely.
Amateurs and professionals. It's a win.
Definitely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a win, and then just to have that extensive, you know, amateur pedigree. I didn't know he had like almost. It was almost like 300 fights. I think like 14 losses. It was like 270 something.
Yeah.
You know, and 14 losses. I didn't know that. So I mean, we already know what the amateur pedigree does for a fighter, and you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's already giving you that one up over another fighter. You know, it already takes you somewhere where you know you need to be as far as mentally. You know, you've been through this so many times, and kind of getting deeper with the question, P. Like the fact that he's faced all these other guys, you know, like Garcia, Ugas, Thurman. Even in a loss, how much more of an advantage does he have over Spence right now? Even by losing to these guys, how much does that give him as an edge? And you know that he could possibly upset Errol Spence.
You mean with the 2 losses that he got?
Yeah, like even in losses, like for a fighter, like how valuable is that to him? You know.
I mean, well, it can be very valuable because you know he's already broke that threshold of being being defeated. You know what I'm saying? He already went through the emotions of how that feels,
right,
and was able to rebuild himself back up and be stronger. Like they say, what don't kill you make you stronger. So those 2 losses, he was able to bounce back, and in my opinion, they made him stronger. You know what I'm saying? Where Errol Spence has yet to really taste that yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's still a lot of pressure to, you know, conserve that perfect record. You know what I'm saying? Where that's not even really an issue for Shawn Porter. He, you know, to me, he would be more willing to take risks, take chances, because he already got a loss. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Cause like, again, looking at the real world, man, like going back to even like school, man, like there was some times when I failed something, you know, just fail, you know, some regular stuff, fail exams or whatever, but I could go back later and look at it and, you know, maybe somebody else need help with the same thing, but I could tell them, no, that ain't right. You know what I mean? I could actually tell them, hey, you got to do it this way now. You know, this is how it's done. Because I could actually tell somebody I did it because I went through it. You know, I might have failed it, but hey, next time I went through it, it was like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. So I can actually kind of learn from a loss. But I've seen some people get straight A's for so long, and then when they fail something, they kind of take it hard, you know?
Exactly.
It kind of put them in a different mental state because they never experienced it. So
exactly. Well, and like they say, I think this is how it goes. They say a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So, you know, however, you know, that comes down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Shawn Porter, the fact that he lost, you know what I'm saying?
And probably went back and found out why he lost those fights.
Exactly, and had to do that. Think about it. It's different when, okay, say you won a fight and you go back and review it and be like, man, these some things you can work on. It's different because you won the fight, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's different. When you lost the fight, it's a different intensity. Like, yo, I gotta fix this. This is what costs. You know what I'm saying? When you still won, you might be like, yo, I'm good. I don't think that's no big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I still got the victory.
Yeah, because like in your mindset, it's like there was no error. You know, I did
It
everything
was
I
no
had to.
error, exactly, because I got the win. I got the win, exactly. You know, in your mind, it's, hey, yo, we still won. You know, but in essence, you really need to be tightening up because people watching. You know, those little mistakes that you was making with this other guy, other fighters are watching, waiting to, you know, capitalize on that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way the sport goes. You know what I mean? People are studying people. You know what I mean? That it's not, you know, some people study people, you know, have them down to a T. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's that way. Some people are definitely students of the game, so it can get deep. Some people say they don't watch tapes. I mean, I don't know, but for a person that does watch film, I think it's a smart thing to do, and I think it can be very effective. I know people say, well, I don't watch film because you never know what's going to happen on fight night, but at least I got an idea. You feel me?
Yeah, because
I'd rather have an idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because to me, it's like every fight's going to be different, but every fighter, 9 times out of 10, every fighter has their habits. You know what I mean? Every fighter has their approach to a fight, and you can watch them and say, oh, he does this, he does that. I could capitalize off this, you know?
Exactly. You could come up with your game plan. It kind of don't make sense to say every fight is different. You looking for weaknesses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
right.
looking for weaknesses. So...
Because again, like you say, every guy that probably feels like, hey, I don't have to change this or change that, they're gonna approach the fight the same way. You know what I mean? It's only natural because we've seen it. You know, we've seen them in the past. You know, even now, and that's why I say, a guy like Shawn Porter, a lot of people bash his style and don't like his style, but I still think he's like a student of the game, though. You know, like. You know, just looking at, I still feel like he is a guy that's going to go back and be humble enough to say, this is why I lost, you know, and this is why, this is why it was a close fight. So everything he's learning from that is going to make this a more and more interesting fight against Errol Spence, man.
And then it's kind of like the Deontay Wilder thing. You know, Shawn Porter, he not the best technical boxer out, but you can't deny his accomplishments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny his accomplishments. And, you know, sometimes the best technical boxer is not the best boxer.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the guy who might be unorthodox. People can't figure him out. It might be the guy that's, you know, we just never know. That doesn't guarantee you being the best boxer, being, you know, the best technical guy. It's a lot more components to the fight game than just being technical. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because you kind of got to give those guys more credit because they're making something work that you think wouldn't work, but it takes a lot to make something like that work. Like a guy like Deontay Wilder, who doesn't have the best technical skill, but he's knocked about every single damn opponent out. Come on.
Exactly. You're going against the grain, but having that type of success. You know what I mean?
And then a guy like Shawn Porter coming in there like a linebacker, but he's lasting 12 rounds. Come on, man.
and you talking about, man, I didn't realize Shawn Porter only 5'6". I mean, Shawn Porter's a small guy.
He's a small guy.
He's a small guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot to boxing that people just don't understand. Like, we could talk about the jab and how to set it up all day, but what they apply to the ring is something you can't even imagine. You know, I'm talking to the casual fans. Like, it's something you can't even judge if you ain't in there, you know?
Absolutely.
But dude, like, looking at like Errol Spence, man, like this fight here, man, if he's able to pull this win off, man, and like do it in dominant fashion, what do you think should be next up for him, man?
I mean, my personal opinion, I know Errol Spence said time and time again he wants Manny Pacquiao. He deserves a big fight, but I personally don't want to see that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I honestly, you know, personally don't want to see that fight, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. That's another thing. And after this fight, who else is willing to step up and get in there with him next? I think after this fight, it'll be a smaller fight after this, Ant, because I don't believe the the Terrence Crawford would be next. I think they want to build that fight up some more.
Yeah, I
You know
think
what I
so
mean?
too. Yeah, I think so too. And the Manny.
And then another thing, Ant, this is going to be a rough fight for Errol Spence. So he's not going to come from one rough fight and hop into another rough fight.
True.
With Terrence Crawford back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the thing about that is too, like, you go from a rough fight. I know you probably do want to get a cash out type fight somewhere in, and that's where Manny come in. Like, I personally don't want to see that fight, but Manny got that other belt now, and that's kind of, Manny's holding that belt,
and make it complicated.
Make it complicated.
Make it sticky. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And plus, on top of that, Manny got the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of make him a pawn in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, I wouldn't be mad at that fight. It's just not nothing I'm be like, yo, he fighting Pacquiao next. I'm not going to be like that. You know what I mean? He definitely deserved, a big fight. And then, like, people can't really squawk about it because, man, he holding a piece of the puzzle. You feel me?
Right.
All
right, man. So, the other question I had for you before we drop on, drop our prediction, man, is how important it is for you that Errol Spence look good in this fight and actually, make a big statement and dominate? Is that a big part to you, or is it just like a fight that he just has to win?
I think it's a lot of pressure on Errol Spence to kind of perform that way, Ed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are expecting a lot of big things out of Errol Spence Saturday night and, in the future. So it's like all eyes on him, come Saturday night. And, I think the pressure is on him to perform more than it is Shawn Porter.
Yeah, I feel,
know what I mean?
I feel the same way too. Like, a lot of people out there, they are favoring Spence to win this fight easy, but I also think that the more stock in the fighter, whoever it is, if you undefeated, you're a champion. But if you look in a certain way and so many people back you, whether you like it or not, there's like an invisible stock that's in you, It's like a certain stock you can't see.
And that's a good point, because that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like Errol Spence. Even before this fight, people just been kind of heralding him, as of late. You know what I'm saying? Really talking highly about him. People haven't been talking highly about Shawn Porter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but they haven't.
Which can kind of be a benefit for Shawn, right?
Yeah.
It can kind of be a benefit for Shawn, because Shawn can kind of go in.
It could be a benefit for him by, everybody looking to him, all eyes on him. They're not paying me attention. And guess what? While y'all not paying me attention, I'm doing this, you know what I mean?
Right.
It gives him more freedom to do the things I think that he, may need to do in this fight. You know what I mean? Errol Spence he probably doing more press than Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? I would believe that, even though both of them got belts.
Yeah.
I still believe Errol Spence is doing more press than Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? They kind of treating Shawn Porter like he's not a champion, to be honest, people got to remember he do got a belt.
Yeah,
he do belong in this fight.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, that's why I keep telling people, Errol wants this fight for a reason, because this fight's gonna make him, and I say that because Shawn is a worthy opponent, so don't underestimate him.
Worthy. Yeah.
So when it all come down to it, bro, what you think gonna happen Saturday night, man?
Man, Saturday night, man. It's when it comes down to stuff like this, and it's a hard thing, man. It's two people going in there. It's 50-50 chance. But if I gotta lean towards somebody, and I hate to do what everybody else doing, but this is the boxing math. You know what I'm saying? That
oh yeah,
I would have to lean. I would have to give Errol Spence the edge. But at the end of the day, man, if Shawn Porter pull it off, I'm not gonna be upset at all. But I do give Errol Spence. I personally give him the slight edge because of all the stuff that people were saying and all the shoes he has to fill, and he got a lot more pressure on him come Saturday night, You know what I'm saying? Like I say, Shawn Porter hasn't been getting that same talk that Errol Spence has been getting taught in his last, from his last few performances, or within the last 6 months or last year, there's been a lot of big talk about Errol Spence and what he's going to do and in the division, and so I just think that he really has a lot of pressure that that, and then he's undefeated. He got his own, so it's a lot to lose for Errol Spence.
Yeah,
a lot more to lose for Errol Spence than it is Shawn Porter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just think. I mean, Shawn Porter and Manny Pacquiao fight. Can you imagine? I mean, that's something that I never even thought about. You know what I mean? But that could very well be something that could come into fruition if the cards fall out a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If Shawn Porter was able to pull this fight off.
Oh yeah, it could be like if he pulled this. Yeah, he could be. Yeah, that's a possibility.
So, I'm just saying, but anyway, I do give Errol Spence a slight edge because he has so much on the line with this. You know what I'm saying? Not just to win, but to win in a certain fashion. I ain't saying it got to be a KO, but he has to be dominated. I mean, dominating in this fight to me.
Think he got think he got enough, like, let's say you don't go for the KO, but you think he got enough power to keep Spence on the outside, keep Porter on the outside and dominate that way like he did Mikey?
I don't know. We had to see. I mean, Shawn Porter is a different animal. He durable, he tough, ex-football player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's gonna be hard to keep that up for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
He's trying to come in.
Dude.
So he's trying to come in.
When he come in, he's in there. Head and all. So, like, people keep saying head be in there. But, hey, he in there, man. Like I said, when people always say he uses head, he uses elbows, well, stop him from doing it. You know what I mean?
Hey, yes. Keep him from coming in.
That's some shit like, my dad used to tell me when you tell somebody, oh, well, he keep doing this, well, you need to stop him. You need to stop his ass from doing that.
Yeah. I mean, and even that, the dirty fighter thing, we've seen dirty fighters, throughout watching boxing, history of boxing, recent boxing. We've seen dirty fighters in our time. He's not somebody I would consider a dirty fighter.
No.
He's a short guy with a wild style, and it can get ugly. But, a dirty fighter is a guy that's, to me, going out there intentionally trying to hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Victor Ortiz throwing a headbutt at Floyd Mayweather. Guys hitting blatantly low or blatantly after that's dirty to me.
That's dirty.
Not somebody who his style is dangerous in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not like, hey, you in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, of course we say it's boxing, but he's still a fighter. So
it's still a fight.
When you a fighter, you get caught up in the moment and you're going to do whatever you got to do.
It's not too many nice guys that are dirty fighters, eh?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not too many. It's not too many. Shawn Porter's a nice guy, and I wouldn't categorize him as a dirty fighter. Most dirty fighters got a personality to go with it, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. For real, yeah, man. But I think, man, if I got to pick as far as my prediction, I'm gonna go with Spence too. I'm probably on the I was 60-40, but sometimes I'm teetering between 55-45 now, man, because I feel like anything can happen, just looking at Porter's experience, and then just factoring, like you said, Errol, the pressure on him. And I think he do with pressure well, just since he did go over to the UK. He went over there on strange waters and beat the hell out of Kell Brook.
Definitely. Then it's just demeanor. He always laid back.
Always laid back,
he ain't antsy, he ain't jittery.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen him outside of that laid back composure. So,
yeah,
he definitely a guy who deals with, pressure. Even this stuff, like during media week, you see guys getting frustrated. Oh, man, I've been answering a lot of questions, kind of tired. Spence still, kind of at the same energy. I know he was tired. I know it's old to every fighter, but, he still just, gave the same energy all the time. Sometimes you can see people annoyed with the shit at. You know what I'm saying? Some fighters after a while, understandably, but, I can see that, he took it kind of well.
Yeah.
But I do say, you know, I do think it's going to go the distance. You know what I'm saying? And to go the distance, you know, I'm thinking Errol Spence, you know, might do enough to get the nod. But I do think it's going to go 12. You know what I'm saying? I love to see it knockout, but I think it's going to go 12. How about you?
I think, yeah, the more and more, like I was saying, I was kind of teetering, you know, 50, 55, 45. The more I kind of look at it like that, I kind of say I could see it going, you know, a decision. I could definitely see it going a decision because listening to Kenny too, just talking and kind of bringing you back to reality with boxing, you got to remember, like he said, the higher level you get, the less knockouts you see. You know, as far as like the more and more skilled guys you see, you know, like going back to Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins, people thought Jermaine Taylor was going to knock Hopkins out, but these are two highly skilled guys, you know?
Right.
You know, so when you're talking skill, guys are going to put the skill before, you know, they're going to put the skill before, you know, sticking their chin out there. So.
Exactly. And, you know, despite what Errol Spence say, he don't think Shawn Porter has a good skill. I mean, a lot of that, to me, I think is just psychological warfare, you know, just talk. I mean, with the amateur pedigree and the people he's been there with, you gotta give him that. There's no way you can deny it.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, there's no way you're not. He been in there with some hitters, and none of them were able to get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? And not hitters as far as power, but, you know, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, with some big names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These were guys that touched that chin, and they still couldn't, like, the only guy that put him down for one round, the last round, was AB. And
AB.
And you got to remember that was kind of like a flash knockdown because he ran.
It came out of nowhere and just caught him. You know what I'm saying? It just caught him. You know what I'm saying? It was a flash knockdown. You know what I'm saying? But he got right back up and, you know, handled his business, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Any way you look at it, and you know, from the boxing math, it should be we should see some fireworks.
Definitely, man. And but yeah, before we do wrap, I just gonna say, shout out to Errol and Shawn for, you know, stepping up and taking a fight like this.
Stepping up, absolutely.
Whatever happens, but I'ma still be satisfied as long as we get a good fight, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's a good fight. They go both out there, lay it on the line, and that don't mean try to kill each other, but go, you know, be professional athletes and do what they supposed to do, and the best man win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all we can ask for, but I think it's gonna be a lot more though, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot more, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah, cause real quick too, like these two guys, they didn't like get ignorant in the press conferences and wild, but some tell me when they get in the ring, it's gonna be harsh, man. It's gonna be fire, man. You know, they're gonna let it all out.
They started getting a little edgy, but it still wasn't just full out onslaught or whatever. But you know, they cutting weight, they getting irritated, they, you know, some of them abstaining. So yeah, tempers flaring, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad they waited till I'm glad they wait till they get in the ring too. You know.
Yeah, you know, because they did enough talking. I mean, nobody want to really hear the same old thing. I mean, because after a while it's scripted. You go from city to city using the same line, you know. So all that stuff seemed what Errol Spence wanted to say and how he wanted to say it. And, you know, Shawn Porter was being Shawn Porter, but nothing really got too much WWE style. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor style. It didn't get that, you know what I mean?
No, I ain't get that vibe. You know, that's a good thing. That's why I said respect to him for both doing that. You know, just keeping it real. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, even Shawn, you know, just being real to who he is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he come there with gold chains and try to act like a thug, or you know, but he just being who he is. He always in the suit. Just, you know, I mean. Is what's the word they use? It's cringy to watch him sometimes, but you know, that's Shawn Porter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, there, yeah, man. But yeah, man. Before we do your final thoughts, P, real quick too, we can't forget that co-main event. Just get your prediction on that real quick as far as who you think will win. David Benavidez and Andre Dirrell, right?
Yeah, man. That's another should be a good fight. You know, Darrell definitely a solid guy, been around for a while. I mean, his brother was the one that we thought was going to be the one, but,
Yeah, he did.
he managed to hang in there longer than his brother or whatever. But to me, in my opinion, this is a very dangerous fight. It's a fight that Darrell can win, but he's going to have to be on his A game because this young boy is a handful and he can box. I'm a big Benavidez fan. I like Darrell too, but I'm a big Benavidez fan. I think Benavidez might just overwhelm him and get it done. To be honest, might get the stoppage.
You think so?
Yeah, might get the stoppage. Late round stoppage of Darrell, man. That's what I think, man.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay, yeah. Real quick correction too. I mean Anthony Darrell. But
Anthony.
yeah, Anthony Darrell. But I think for me, man, like I was telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if Darrell put the skill on him and pulled an upset. But right now, I kind of think that David Benavidez, he in that zone, man, where he won his belt back. And sometimes that junk just outweighs the skill or whatever you bring to the table. Especially when you're young too.
And then just think, he's just good for the division. He's young, he can fight. It's other, and him and Caleb playing. It's just a lot of things, directions you could go, with a kid like Benavidez right now, if he could, fly straight. Darrell kind of quiet, laid back guy, Benavidez is that guy you could really put out there, then he, Mexican heritage. So I think it's just an all around good look for Benavidez if he can fly straight. You gotta keep your nose clean, though. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, right? Yeah. Keep your nose clean, man. Yeah, for real.
But that should be another good one, though. I mean, like you say, it wouldn't surprise me if Darrell pulled, because he got pedigree too. His brother was one of the best fighters in the world. They thought at one time. You know what I mean? So he been around the sport for a long time, and he been around a good cut of cloth of people, in the sport for a long time. Andre Ward, all those guys. So, he definitely got what it takes to get it done. Got what it takes to get it done. This is just going to be like I think a busy fight, and you had to fight. You had to go in there and get it at. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be given to him.
He really, that's all I can say too. Is that's what makes it harder, because the older you get, you're gonna really have to fight your ass off. You just can't simply school a guy who don't want to be schooled. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Benavidez is kind of like the problem kid in there right now. He's the one that ain't there to be schooled. He's the one that's saying, I'm rewriting this shit for me right now.
Right.
And that's my belt. So he's still trying to go after that belt. And I think his mind frame right now, like I was telling you earlier, I still don't see like his full direction, but I just see him right now as like a kid that wants to fight.
Yeah. And like I say, I mean, what is he at? 22, 23?
23, yeah.
I mean, he still got, that's a baby. He tank age. So, these guys, they still kids. We really got to give them time to mature, grow into their bodies, adjust to, some of these guys coming from humble beginnings, coming into being somebody. So it's a lot for a young kid, man. It is, it really is being the champion, world champion in your early 20s. That's a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of people would never accomplish in their life or never could really experience. So,
yeah, because not to get too deep, even though we do, but like my thing is like for the average fan, or even his friends looking on the outside, they're probably thinking like, oh, you made it good, everything's good like at 22, but he's kind of thinking that I want to still experience that youthful life, because
Absolutely.
Whenever he's here, he's gonna have to be in front of the cameras, in front of media, training, eating, sleeping, the fight camps all the day. But like he won't be living like his kids, but he's still a little too young to understand the benefits of that. It's gonna set him up for life. So, it's just an all around thing that I think is something you do have to kind of grow up fast in.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the fame, the power, the money, it definitely, you know, forces you to grow up fast, because if not, it can consume you. You know, you got to be able to be a disciplined person and restrained and refrain.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what was his problem. You know, having access to access. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he
Right.
became world champion. He had money to do more of what he might have already been doing, or you know, do some things he wasn't doing. You know, that's a powerful thing to have access to access. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then you indulge, bro. I know.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to say no when it's everlasting. You feel me?
Yeah. And think like you were saying, 23-year-old champion, who can tell you you can't do that?
Yeah.
You know, who's going to tell you no? You know?
Yeah. You know, when we got, you know, proven John Jones, you know, it's just, it's a new world that, you know, this new generation, they feeling invincible, and they realize that those things do catch up with you one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, they got to go through their bumps in the road too, man, like everybody else.
Oh yeah. You know, they definitely do, man. They still human too. That's why.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, man. I'm kind of I'm leaning toward, like I said, I can see upset, but I'll lean toward Benavidez in this one, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he got like a late round stoppage though, man.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't at this point, yeah. But yeah, closing thoughts, Pete, before I wrap this thing.
But yeah, I mean, no, man, my closing thoughts just, we've been waiting for tomorrow for a long time now. It's finally here, and I'm just looking forward to seeing a good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, same here. That's closing thoughts for me. That's how I feel. I think we got a good card coming up Saturday. You know, got like 3-4 good fights. Joey Spencer on there.
Yeah.
So you're going to have some John Molina and Jose Zito Lopez. So you got some slugfests on there. And then you got the two big ones on there. So yeah, it's all good, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid card tomorrow night. Definitely.
All right. So just let everybody know where they can follow you at, P.
They can follow me on Instagram at p.barnhill. And you can follow me at Loud Pack Boxing on Instagram.
Yep, and you can follow me on Instagram at All Boxing Everything, and on Combo Breaker 99. And you can follow us both on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Stitcher. And yeah, shout out to more and more fans be following on Facebook, you know.
Yeah, definitely shout out. Appreciate that.
And definitely, like we said, besides the show, we're going to still be, hitting y'all with something different, Maybe hitting you with some more live streams. We might be doing something for this fight coming up. We let y'all know on Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got on this one. My name is Combo Breaker 99.
It's your boy Boxing P.
And we out, y'all.
Later.
Peace.